Hi, guys.
Intro. So we already got into like the local music scene and how it kind of sucks now, and we decided to kind of like look into it a bit more, like just think about it more, but
Further investigations.
Further
Unsolved mysteries.
of why there's no local music scene around us, at least.
Cut to us sitting by a lake sad while the voiceover goes.
We were thinking about it. It's kind of weird. We have like Bethel Woods and stuff, like where Woodstock and all that happened around us, and we live like maybe an hour or so
Not
outside
even.
of the city.
Oh, the city.
The city, yeah. Yeah, Bethel's like 40, 45 minutes, but it's just like we have all these big venues where big bands come, and yet there's zero local places to play. Like the closest one would be the Chance, which we bring up in a past video, but
Which isn't even like a local place to go play. It's like
yeah, they do bigger bands too.
you usually pay to play stuff. So
Yeah, so it's the amount of money that you have to spend just to go to the city. So like, I'm sure like in the city there's a local music scene.
I would hope so.
Yeah, like I
Enough
have to,
people, there had to be something going on, but
So like for us to go there though, it'd have to be like an actual planned out trip. You don't just go there because it's down the street. And like if you drive there, you're gonna pay like $20 or so in tolls. If you like drive close, then take a train over, and you're still gonna spend at least $10 or so
lugging
overall.
your shit on a train,
If you're gonna
or
play
you
a
got to
show
do
there,
city
yeah.
driving.
If you end up playing a show there as
Yeah,
a band,
yeah.
like you have to like you definitely have to drive in. I don't know how else you'd even do it.
And it's just,
And then you're probably paying to play that gig.
and then yeah, as we mentioned, Bethel. That's like, it's just bigger bands, and they're usually just older music that like.
Yeah, they don't really play metal. I think the closest thing
We saw
recently
Priest.
was Priest, yeah.
And Deep Purple, and that was I think like
And Deep
the
Purple,
first,
I think, would
metal show.
Yeah, Deep Purple I think would fit in anyway with like their demographic, but yeah, it's just and then like they don't play local shows. And then they got like we got PNC. That's not that far away.
That's probably further than that's like
Yeah, but still not
almost
like
2 hours, I think.
Yeah, but those are the closest places. But then there's nothing for local bands except for bars and stuff like that. So we're thinking, like, why would that possibly be a thing? You know, because it's not just the fact, why don't people go to shows to where local venues could stay open? I think it's oversaturation. Like, anybody could just record now. So
We
like,
do it.
Yeah, yeah, we're doing it.
Compared to like shit that you'd hear like, you know, bands that are like highly influential back in the day where they like had to scrape together change to get like a horribly done recording.
Yeah.
That like now people still listen to, and then all these like nicely polished things someone made in their bedroom are just useless, and they're probably gonna sit in that like imaginary folder taking up space on a hard drive somewhere on a mainframe.
Floppy disk.
I don't know how computers work too well, all right?
But like you get that, and then the fact that, you know, you could just get a plug-in in fake drums and not even know how to EQ or anything, and right off the bat it'll sound passable to most people. So there's just so much out there that people just don't even, like, they're not gonna...
It's hard to care.
Yeah, it's hard to care. It's hard to, like, find a band that you actually care about because of all the dog shit you're gonna go through to get to it.
And I think it's kind of, I saw someone mention about going to video stores back in the day. It's actually Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerds channel. They have this other little weird show. He's got a fake video store. But how they used to like going into like a rental place because like instead of like Netflix or Hulu where you have a queue and you add everything to it, or like if you're online looking for music, you just scroll through like
what you want to hear.
Subject or whatever. There's just so much instead of like going into a store and like looking around, picking it up, like looking at the back, having all that, like physically interacting with it and seeking it out. I feel like is a thing that makes like first time I listened to Testament was because I saw their first album at like FYE, and I thought
they're closed now.
Song, like the song titles in the back sounded cool, and the cover was like kind of shitty, but I liked it because I was all about that like thrash metal. I hadn't listened to them yet, so like I bought it, and that's still like my favorite Testament record, and that's why I started listening to them. The Legacy, the first one.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
So like I was just like,
love Testament.
I just was going through and was like, this one's kind of cheap, I'll buy this. So it's like now you just see ads for random bands, you get like invited to like their page.
You're not gonna.
Well, that's like a local thing too, anyway. But it's just in general, it's.
Yeah, I mean, I miss Hollywood Video and stuff like that too. Like I miss going to what was that one that we had over by ShopRite?
Oh, Metro.
No,
that was called Metro.
No, I'm talking about the maybe it was over by Kmart. I can't remember. It was the CD store.
Oh,
Gallery of Sound.
There you go. Yeah,
that was a good place.
that's where I bought Walk Among Us. An American Psycho.
That's where I got all three of my Iron Maiden albums, the first albums I ever bought. I mean, that place was great. I walked in, the guy was really cool. It was almost like a weird head shop vibe, but they didn't really have a bunch of that other like drug paraphernalia kind of stuff. It was just like the posters and
Some
High
black
Time
light
magazines,
posters and
yeah.
shit.
But it was kind of cool like that. And then like they had like a metal section. And I could like look through it, and same thing with FYE. Even had like a pretty big selection, like cool like 2 for $10 deals and stuff on CDs.
Yeah. And now, like, if those places are still open, you probably wouldn't see too much stuff from, like, smaller bands in there, but that would have been, like, kind of part of the problem where, like,
well, where you just played,
there's already all this. Yeah.
What's his name? Crazy Dan?
Yeah.
He, that's like a little CD place, right?
His place?
Yeah.
It's just like a...
Just a venue?
Yeah. But it's very small. He basically runs out of the back of his apartment. We just played a winter's venue. It's really small.
Or a CD store.
It was mostly just the bands, but... Like, we saw people, like, there was a couple people who just came in off the street. Was like, what's going on in there? We're outside hanging out, and we're like, oh, metal show. And then, like, the guy, like, dragged his wife in there. She didn't seem happy. He's like, just 20 minutes. And they stayed for, like, half of someone's set. And I guess during, like, the warmer months, they'll just open the door, and people will, like, be standing outside watching. So that's cool, but then that's New Paltz. That's, like, another hour or more away.
Is it that far?
I think it's about an hour.
I think we talked about this in another
episode. We did.
Too. I did the exact same thing.
You did.
I'll never learn. But
what are these memories?
At least that's cool. Like it's we need things like that.
Yeah, and that's what. And even then, though,
New Paltz is like a college town, but it's not like a city. So at
like
least it's you get like a little bit of a local scene.
I think another time I brought up Dan, I mentioned him bitching about how there's like not much of that scene either. Like they had the one place to really play, and he has his own place. But it's like kind of the really upsetting thing about it is like all the things I almost like about music and like the genres of music I like, especially with like a lot of bands I like are usually older. It's like like you hear about how it was then. There was more of like an excitement and more of a general just everything toward. Nowadays it's just so like
you just talk to your parents for 5 minutes and they're like, yeah, I just walked down the street and saw like
it just makes your life
bands.
sound so depressing. Like
well, I mean, I know people they saw Metallica
even around here
in the closer town.
Yeah, like my parents grew up in the Bronx, so like that would make sense that their lives would be a lot more interesting than like where we live. But your parents like they were in town right down there. Like this town had more going on. It's a city actually.
Yeah, Port Jervis is a city, and they had I guess Metallica played there. Was it Cheap Trick? People always talk about. There's a bunch of bands that would come around here, and then there was a huge local scene. Like my dad's friend has a band that was going around. They were supposed to get like a nice record deal, and they fucked it up. But that's on them. But they were a big local band. People went to see them all the time, and like they were blowing up from that. Because the local scene was so strong that they were getting pushed up from that.
Now that just doesn't even fucking matter. Now it's like you have to
like, a cover band
expose pretty much, and
which I mean I don't hate.
In a way, I like it because there's drawbacks to all of it. Like I said, anyone can make the music they want to make, but then you just have so much of this music, and you lose all like the mystery to it because it's like you could just look and you just see it's some guy who's making it in his room, or like in his house doing whatever. Yeah, because usually when they do that, they also advertise it like, look, I did this all myself, and it's like. You don't seem special. Like back in the day, all these bands had something about them that made them seem like, that's why metal and stuff is cool to me. Is because metal is like especially like older shit like Priest and stuff. It's like that larger than life, bigger. Like there's a mystery surrounding it. That's an extreme example, but like even like the more underground bands like Slayer and stuff, like they tried to just be like stripped down, just aggressive, crazy shit. But like you still got like scared of them. Like when I was younger and first just started, like I got the CD and they're on the back. They're just some dudes holding beer cans and like with angry faces, but there's something about it. It's just like, and just
I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah, but at the same time, just keep playing. It's cool.
Yeah,
but you just lose a lot of that nowadays, and now everything is just so.
Well, you lose that. There's like no, there's
no mystery to anything.
Yeah, they kind of lost like a personality, I guess, is kind of a way to put it. Like, there's no individualism anymore. I mean, some people, like, it's not like it's everybody. Like, there are people. It's just hard to
speak in broad generalizations.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just that there's so many people that don't have a personality behind it.
Yeah, it's hard to look and be like, am I going to waste my time on this?
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, like, there are people who do, and those tend to, rise to the top. But it's just harder for a viewer or listener to find it. And then that kind of goes in with, like, the being boxed into a genre thing. People are trying so hard to be gen or thrash or death, like they don't like just play what you want to play. Don't try
like half like of these things that like influence them are like bands that just wanted to make something and they had a certain sound
And
in
they
their
created
own
that
mind.
sound.
Like the starting of punk and all that. And like
Starting with death metal.
Punk metal got branched into how many things? Punk branched into like I feel like punk got even weird in the sense that like if certain things that tie like new
Punk's
wave
still commercial.
New wave ties into punk though, and so does like the weird post-hardcore deathcore death rock goth stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's like so many branches that
And
went from
hardcore.
there. Metal usually, at least stylistically, for a while, tried to stay usually to the just dark, evil,
Yeah.
creepy
At least-
shit. But
yeah.
like even that
Theme-wise.
branched out too, and you get the more like Pantera kind of stuff. But then you just get down these like weird, just tiny little like you get specified as this because of these certain little aspects. And that's
Yeah,
just what you
even though
point
it's
to.
like on the whole, if you listen to it, it's like I wouldn't categorize them as that.
Yeah.
Like Priest, me and Mike would get into it over them. I'm like, yeah, I get where you think that, but on like line, they're in this genre now. Even though,
Someone
like,
put it on Wikipedia.
yeah, it's in
They're
the
just
genre.
not power metal though. That's just I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't think so either.
They don't
But-
hit that. There's a certain line that you have to cross and just like overly cheesy boringness to me. No offense if you like power metal.
Halloween's great. I
Yeah,
love
no, there is
Halloween.
stuff I do like, but a lot of it it's one of those things that just kind of turns me off. That's the thing is if I was like maybe a power metal band would have a CD in a store somewhere that I might like just grab based on name and the
That's
cover.
possible.
But I'll never
Halloween,
know.
I feel like I would not have done that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I listened to them because.
But then maybe
they're
your friend
fucking
would have
awesome.
bought it and then you would be forced to listen to it in the car and be like,
That's
wow.
kind of what happened. Mike just played it in the meat room. I was like, oh, that's this.
I
Cool
guess I
song.
like this now.
Yeah, I mean, I will say personally, looking into them, I only like that one album, but I haven't listened to anything else since then. But their older stuff, wasn't a big fan. But going back on like the home recording stuff, like I'm hoping that one day this becomes something for me. I'm like trying to educate myself and do better over time, and I know it's not going to be overnight, but I have like a main goal with it. A lot of people just want to record themselves, and we did that for a long time, using Sims, whatever. So I get it, but then like you were saying, Slash even was saying on like a practical side for a lot of people, even
Yeah.
people who are bigger, like Slash.
Top 5 iconic guitar players in rock and roll ever. There ever will be probably. Cause
Yeah,
at this
'cause
point, there's just
yeah.
none of those.
I don't see it happening anytime soon. Another Angus
You get
Young
people who
or
are like
something.
respected, like Tosin Abasi was like he's really good, but like he's never gonna be. He's
Yeah.
just like a crazy. He's someone guitar players care about. There's no one that.
Yeah.
There's no one that the regular person cares about. Real quick before the Slash thing, I'll say it was something that I think he used to record to tape, and then he just switched to
Yeah.
Pro Tools, and he's like, I can't justify spending whatever amount on tape when no one's
His-
gonna buy my record.
Yeah,
Me
his solo record.
Slash. Like I know. Slash on his own does not pull as much as Guns N' Roses, but you think he'd still be able to do something.
Yeah, no,
I've seen
apparently
pictures
not.
of him playing shows, videos, like they're decent sized crowds. They still just don't want to buy it. No one
Yeah,
gives a
they
shit
just
about
want-
buying it.
You make money off the shows now, and even then, if you're with a label, they take some of that. So it's just the whole industry's fucked.
Yeah. And nowadays, like general music listener, like general population, their music tastes are just like basic pop and rap stuff, which like I feel like you usually don't care as much about going to see live anyway, as
Yeah.
opposed to back in the day where like everyone was into like something. Not everyone, but it's more most of the stuff that you were into. You could probably go see live somewhere or something in that
Yeah.
vein. In the '80s, obviously.
Well, even now we like bands that, I mean, the one just came back, Zombies. They were gone for a long time. They're a horror punk band, but
Yeah.
they came back, and I was really excited about that. And then they were touring with Calabrese, who I also really like, and I've seen twice live. And then they weren't going to come around here.
Yeah, they pretty much
I
just
think
did like
Calabrese ended
Arizona.
up coming around here,
They
but
did just like Arizona shows.
yeah, which kind of sucks.
It's
I mean,
where
they're
they're
from
from.
there.
But then
So I wish I lived in Arizona. They have a pretty cool local scene.
they're not huge bands, but then at the same time, like in the horror punk community, they
Yeah, they
probably would be like Calabrese would
especially
be one
up
of the,
here where horror
Yeah.
punk was created. Like,
Yeah, but then it's like, can we spend the gas money to get all the way out there? And
it's true. Not making enough off the local shows.
yeah, it's like all you're gonna do is play a couple bars and then
Yeah. Well, I mean, Calabrese is getting up there with venue
Yeah.
sizes and stuff, but they're still, yeah, it'll be like
They're
a
also-
chance maybe at the best.
yeah, and even then, like I don't even know if I feel like they get the loft.
Yeah,
The
maybe.
loft is a decent size when you actually like look
Yeah.
at it.
That's
but-
it again. Like, there's so much saturation that even horror punk, which there I guess is a lot of saturation, but you're not going to hear about them because they do like 2 songs. The actual like horror punk bands and stuff in that genre, there's not a lot to go through, and yet it's still so buried. Like nobody listens to it.
Yeah.
Granted, like,
it is a
anytime we
niche
show
genre,
somebody,
and like
I
we
guess,
just be like, I think
I've
it's
loved it for so long.
yeah, and it's just like you show people like, this is what you listen to. It's like
Yeah,
I
they
thought
get
some of this
weirded
stuff
out.
wasn't even that weird compared to like my heavier shit I'll play, but
People don't mind that though because they just hear like
Yeah.
in their head, but like when they hear horror punk, it's clear vocals and like I'm gonna rape you.
Let's get more cancel slug territory. Which
Yeah, but
I feel like they stray far beyond the horror punk
there's
label.
quite a few though that talk about.
I mean, Misfits. I got something to say. You know the rest, but
hopefully, but
dude, I'm dying. By the way,
yeah.
See what you're doing. You're killing me. You killed local music.
And now you're
with
killing
the greed and your oversaturation.
and
Now you're killing
Look at him.
Clifford.
He's all skin and bones. But before we go, I figured I'd do like a little fun thing. At least I think it's fun. Who do you think is the last actual iconic guitar player?
Iconic.
Yeah, or like you were saying, like that would
Like,
be like a
yeah.
Slash or something. Like you said, like Toast and Abasi, like they're all people know them in the community, but
Yeah.
they're not like Angus Young or Slash or like a household name. It could be metal.
I mean, maybe like a Sinister Gates kind of thing. They're
You
like,
think that would count?
even then, like, I mean, I met a decent amount of like kids who like,
They know who Avenged Sevenfold is.
yeah,
I don't know. If
but
they
even then,
know-
that's not even like a guitar. That's still like a, I don't know. It's like in just the metal genre, but
I'm saying just in general, because rock, I don't think there's been one since.
that's
way
that's what I mean.
before
I can't think of anyone within
Mine-
the last like
I think
say 10 years.
No. I was gonna say the most recent that I could think of, in terms of like a household name that at this
household
point.
name.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like an iconic
Yeah.
guitar player.
I was trying to dial it back a little bit from household, maybe like a bit
No,
more.
I think the closest thing that we can get, and even now, there's probably plenty of people that have no idea who he is. Dimebag, I think, would be the last. Maybe Zach Wild. No, Zach Wild.
Zach
would be
Wild, I
before
think.
technically.
Yeah, Dimebag. I wouldn't
still
say
kicking,
house.
I mean.
Yeah, Dimebag's definitely like probably one of
The last one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of one. So if anybody can and wants to, shit on me in the comments, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people who are still around, I'm sure, but like people who like after that
I meant
would have
like
made
in
as big of a
terms
splash.
in terms of when you came out and made yourself a household name. Like there's people like Keith Richards is never gonna die. So
Yeah, he's always going to be.
but I
there.
wouldn't consider him like the last household name, like the most recent in terms of
Yeah.
making the scene. I would say I think Dimebag.
I'd probably have to go
I
with
can't
that.
think
I
of
can't think of
anybody
anyone
else.
who's like I said, like out of like the more modern metal bands, like the only one that like I feel like ever gets. Yeah, I don't know. There's no one really.
Yeah, because I mean like Lamb of God, they're bigger, but nobody
Yeah, they're not like.
household names.
Yeah, they're not like guitar heroes. Like there's definitely people who like them a lot, and the riffs are great. But
Yeah, I know plenty of people who know who Lamb of God is. I just don't know. Like if I ask
they know the
anybody
guitar
at
players'
work,
names?
nobody at work is gonna know their names.
no.
So
I mean, granted, nowadays most of them won't even know half those household guitar player names like Angus.
that's why I
Young.
said like I'm sure that even now
It's
there's
all
people who
just
don't
died
know
out.
Dimebag, but
It's just the whole thing is just depressing. We're in a dying world.
let's make a comeback. If anybody has any suggestions on how to make it better, let us know.
Otherwise,
I'll
we're
try
just
my
gonna
best
sit in
to-
this basement and think about how hopeless it is.
Yeah.
I bet you'd like that. Bye.
Bye.